Today we're going to look at every current NHL team's worst ever jersey redesign, according to me, my opinion. So if you cry to me in the comments, I don't care. And I'll try to keep it to teams rather than franchises. So for example, I won't go from a Hartford jersey rebranding to a Carolina jersey. I'll stay Carolina to Carolina. However, if the city or area stays the same, but the team name changes like Mighty Ducks to the Ducks or Detroit Cougars to Falcons to Red Wings, I'll keep those as the same team. And because Utah doesn't have a redesign yet, other than, the TJ Ginla draft jersey to what they wear now, and Seattle hasn't also had a redesign, we're just going to look at 30 current NHL teams. And we're going in order of what I think is the least bad. Honestly, some are barely a step down. They're not even bad redesigns. And we're going to go all the way down to the worst redesign in NHL history, at least among current NHL teams. So let's go. Montreal's redesign is far from bad. They don't really have a bad redesign. I just prefer the striped white jersey style to their classic style. With San Jose, while there is a downgrade going on, as that OG teal jersey is phenomenal, one of the greatest of all time, I still really like the 98 jerseys. A downgrade, sure, but I do see two great jerseys there. Philly's redesign here is also not that bad. It's a throwback to the classic. I just really like their Reebok Simon Gagne Boston Slayer away jerseys, and I was never really a big fan of the Philly Classic. The Legion of Dooms were my favorite, but I still like these initial Reeboks quite a bit, and I do feel like, to me, it seems like a bit of a downgrade here, going to that classic look. Not the biggest change here, as there haven't been many with the Devils, but dropping the lower stripe when Adidas came in was a downgrade for them. Chicago was another one where it was like, do you call this a bad redesign? I think I more so just like the first jersey here more than the second. Ottawa suffers a bit from the Reebok template, as will others you'll see in the future here, but it's really not that bad of a change, though I definitely like that Danny Heatley All-Star 50 goals in 07 croissant-shaped black stripy mask that they had here. The logo actually might be an upgrade when we go from that jersey to this jersey. I'm not even sure, like Scooby-Doo eyes, he's not that bad, but the logo might be an upgrade. But the overall jersey, it took a step down after the finals run. The Flames went for an odd redesign. I don't mind the jersey they went to here, but yeah, it's definitely their biggest downgrade in my eyes. The Black Sea era jerseys were better to me than this pedestal, so this is the Calgary redesign that sits in 7th. Dropping one lower to the appropriate position of 8th, we have the 2018 Stanley Cup champions, who had the great 8 on them, yeah. Now for Washington, even though I preferred the Screaming Eagle, at the time of the change, these initial Reebok Caps jerseys were sharp. They were sharp. I did like the look of them as Ovi was ripping it up. It's just that I think they overstayed their welcome, especially as something lesser to the Screaming Eagle. Vegas started out with this blast as an alternate, but it ended up taking over the spot as their main home jersey, so it's their only redesign that fits this video criteria, and in my eyes, it is a downgrade. Too much gold, I think. Not that Vegas fans would much agree with that, but too much gold for me. Speaking of too much gold, look at this transition. The Nashville Predators were a team that made that weird Reebok piping look okay. It was actually a downgrade to get rid of it. I don't mind the yellow look, but it's still a bit too much yellow, and I think most people would agree with that. You know what gives people the blues? Losing 3 finals in a row and then never getting back there for 14 seasons. You know what else? Almost losing your team to Saskatoon. But it seems like they wanted to give their fans even more blues, so they gave that word the most prominent place on their jerseys. At least people knew what they were called. For the Maple Leafs, I went back to the days of the Toronto St. Pats. Yeah, not the best change here, but it is the oldest change on this list. I'll give it that. Here's one choice that might not be too popular, but I was never a fan of the initial Reebok jerseys from Tampa. I actually thought their simple logo jerseys were an upgrade to this, and I mean, I love those 2004 championship jerseys, so yes, the 2007 jerseys were a downgrade. The logo itself is not that big of a downgrade, though I prefer the original, but seeing the entire jerseys side by side, yeah, it definitely got worse. Since we're trying to keep it more so to teams than franchises, I did our transition between Jets 1.0 and Jets 2.0. And I like the 2.0 aways, just these homes I've never liked. Too much of one color can work with certain teams, but here, I just feel like all that navy hurts it, and I feel like it doesn't go as well with the gray. There are a few teams on this list that win the cup the season they make these terrible redesigns, and the Kings are one of them. Great memories in these jerseys for Kings fans, for sure. That definitely means many of them love it. But man, this redesign was definitely not a good one. At least I don't think so. Just something that happened to come in at the right time. Red and green should never be seen, should never be said. However, I do feel like when red is the dominant color alongside the green rather than the complementing color, it doesn't work as well. I never really liked these jerseys, and then they went ahead and made them the primary homes. Not the best call. Colorado really suffered from the way Reebok made their jerseys. Not being able to put that mountain design on their jerseys really hurts them. And part of me is surprised that the Avs are this low, but man, those Reeboks are just not great at all. Those red Leaping Panther jerseys are some of my favorite ever, and so this one goes so low because of how big a downgrade it was in my eyes. The Stoic Panther logo isn't a bad logo, it's just that the Leaping Panther, in my opinion, which is what matters for this ranking, is the greatest logo in sports. Plus, these Stoic Panther jerseys are just too corporate, and the stripe doesn't even go all the way around. Like, come on. Copying Montreal would have been such a good thing here. In the year 2000, the Penguins introduced this as an alternate, but switched it to being their main home jersey in 2002, and I think going with this type of gold was a big mistake. They made the design look way worse in 2007 with Reebok, but from the RoboPen to the Golden Oldie, I guess, I don't know, that was a big drop in quality. It was a bigger drop in quality than going from that to the 2007 redesign. After their 2016 Cup win, when they made their 1991-92 style jerseys their main home and aways, that was a huge breath of fresh air again for me. I like those, but never liked the Penguins jerseys with this type of gold. It's no secret that I don't like jerseys overdoing it with navy. If you see past videos of mine, it's also no secret that I very much dislike this boring Columbus jersey and the Star Ohio flag logo. Like, is their original jersey here that great? No, but it got worse in 2007 in my eyes. I really don't like those Columbus jerseys at all. I don't mind this as their original alternate jersey, but they took that bad logo and put it on a worse jersey and made it their homes, and I didn't like that. Now, I'm not sure if they ever technically made these McDavid draft jerseys their primary home jerseys. They seem to wear them a lot that playoff run, but whether it was that jersey or their other homes that this was the redesign from, when Edmonton redesigned their jerseys for the Adidas era, they messed up big time. They made the orange brighter, they made the blue darker, and it really just didn't work. I actually like these McDavid draft jerseys. I like the Oilers in orange, but not that hideous Adidas jersey. It's the Buffa Slug! You knew the Buffa Slug was coming. And, well, here it is. Hooray for 22nd. Oh, and yeah, I hate the Fisherman. No surprise here either if you know me. It was a dud in the 90s. Nowadays, people don't always agree on that. A lot of people like it, but I agree more with that 90s sentiment. It's worse than even the horrid Adidas neckline they introduced in 2017, and boy, is that bad. Next up is Boston, who in the 30s did upgrade their colors, but also put just jersey numbers on the front of their jerseys, which is so boring. Like, come on, Boston. And then the Madison Square Darlings did pretty much the same, taking the classic diagonal Rangers font and making it into this thing with a number that doesn't even match in color. Yeah, they ditched this the next year. The Detroit Red Wings used to call themselves the Cougars. As the Red Wings, there was never a downgrade, but as the Cougars, yep. I didn't have to think about this one for 2 seconds. I'm a stick and rink type of Canucks fan. These are like my all-time favorite Canucks jerseys, and they went from those to the Flying V. Need I say more? Actually, yes. Like, why are the numbers on like the cuffs? What was going on, Vancouver? What was going on? I mean, a lot of stuff is usually going on with Vancouver. Carolina finds itself down at 28th here. I hate any shortened nickname jerseys, especially on see-through white like this. And even though I hate this Canes jersey more than I hate the next redesign jersey we'll see at the rank below, this one is here because it didn't fall as far as the next one. As in, I don't mind this style of jersey here with the Hurricanes logo on it, but it's nothing spectacular. But this next one, oh boy, is that Mighty Ducks jersey ever one of the best. How did they take that and fall so far down? And yet, first season they wear this boring thing, they go and win the Stanley Cup. Wow. Wow. All it took was becoming more bland, right? But the worst, partly due to Reebok, but mostly due to extremely poor decision making. Why did you do it, Dallas? Do you really like basketball that much? Or did you really want to look like a college team that can't afford to put the big logo crest on the front of all their jerseys? This team went from having one of the best jersey designs ever to being the not even laughing stock of the league. Like, this is not laughing stock. This isn't the Flying V. No, this is like the lack of anything. It's just boring and lifeless. Kind of like a drill.